Hello, this is Matt Law from Flamingo Logic. Today we're going to demonstrate the first stage of a client journey. We're just in AbilityERP, so we're just going to do from marketing campaign through to service opportunity to give you an idea what would come after that. You might perform price estimates as well, or produce price estimates, sorry. Then you'd go through to service agreement, then service bookings, invoices, bulk upload of invoices and so on, right through to then posting to the transactions to the general ledger in an accounting system or in the accounting module. But right now we're going to do just marketing campaigns through to service opportunity. Jess, actually, you might want to introduce yourself as well. Sorry.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica. I've just opened up the marketing campaign window.
Brilliant. So marketing campaign window, it gives you a place to add on any campaigns that you've got and be able to reference them in Enquiry. So then any incoming inquiry can be tagged with a campaign and then you can report on that. You can also post this directly to the general ledger as well on a transaction. So marketing campaign or campaign can form part of the accounting combination in the general ledger. Anything on that I've missed, Jess?
No.
Cool.
Good.
So inquiry. So the inquiries, and here we use the document status indicator here just to come through to the inquiry window. So you can allocate that to a role, whoever is working those inquiries. But it provides a bit of a, I don't want to call it a dumping ground, but it's isolated data for inquiries to protect. Really, so it's data you can work on, and therefore your main business partner information, which would include your client or customer information, is kept separate and protected. But what you can do is create automatic, or there's automations between the inquiry and that business partner information, so you can create one from the other. So if we start off just looking at the inquiry window, there's quite a large data set, but there's no mandatory fields because the idea is you're not always sure what information you're going to get on an inquiry. It will often be incomplete, and it's just a record or basis from which to then work and qualify that information. To give you an example of how this sits on a different table, we can just click on the top right hand side there. So you can see here, it's on its own table, AbilityERP inquiry, really important, protecting that business partner data. So the generation of these inquiries, you could capture them from multiple sources, including automations through to the website. So like a contact us type page could generate these. You could use an email processor as well. So incoming emails could generate inquiries and the systems then be worked on. Multiple, really is important that you work so multiple sources can feed this data set. And hence that information in here can vary right through to just receiving a phone call and manually creating these or collecting information, for example, at an expo. But there really is the data set to then work. So you can add activities to it in terms of your really activities that relate to validating this inquiry information. And when we say validating it to then become a prospect, which would be when it gets converted to a business partner. So you don't manage the whole entry process in an inquiry once you've qualified, an inquiry. So you would choose what stage that is, depending on the organization. But once you're comfortable, this is someone you're going to have some ongoing engagement with, or they've got a willingness to find out more about services, that would be the stage which you can then create a business partner for them. Jess, anything specific on this window actually before we go on to service opportunity?
Yeah, I guess the one thing I would like to point out as well is we do have the option, obviously with disability support, it varies as to who you're getting that inquiry from. So we do have the ability to select whether the inquiry is from the person that's seeking support themselves, in which case the inquiry details here aren't visible. So that's just something as well that is important to take note. And then if they aren't the person calling or requesting the support directly, you can select the relationship of that person you're discussing their support with.
Brilliant. Yeah, cool point. So we should do a convert.
Yes. Yep. So just take. Oh, sorry. Yep.
No, go
I
for
would
it.
just take note. All of this detail that we have in this inquiry window here, you'll see this one in particular has quite a lot of depth there. So when we do this convert process, all of that will be transferred over. You'll see. So if you want to just take note of any of the particular fields, as we convert this, you'll see that move across. So just clicked on convert inquiry. You have the option whether or not you want to create a service opportunity or not. In this case, we will. And we just select the status here of intake assessment.
Brilliant.
Right, so we'll open up both of these documents just so we can have a look. We've got the business partner, which brings up the support receiver. And this is where I was saying that detail that was all captured carries across. So you capture the disabilities, the funding body number as well. All of
And we could see, we'd be able to see that the business partner or customer client that's being created here is a prospect status.
So yes, you select the status once they're converted.
Yeah, brilliant. And on the BP, I think they've got the tick box prospect as well on there at the creation. Yeah. And those statuses can be configured as well to whatever the process is for the organization. But you see here, you're not having to create the business partner from scratch. You can use the information that's already been gathered in the inquiry.
Correct.
Cool. And then in most instances, you're going to create a service opportunity because that is then the progression through to entry to receiving services. And this gives you the ability to recognize an opportunity amount as well. So that can then feed into any forecasting that you do, particularly in combination with the probability there. So you can say, well, the probability of converting this client into, prospect into a client is. You can say what the opportunity amount is, and then you can come up with a weighted amount that could be used for forecasting purposes. You can also report on whatever stage the opportunity is at. So, and as I said, you can create status specific to the organization. And you can even use service opportunities for existing clients as well. So for cross-selling, where you're selling additional services to an existing client, you can use a service opportunity record to reflect that opportunity and progress that to completion or at least to an outcome.
Especially as well for an intake assessment, a key thing you can do is reference the assessment that is being complete within that support receiver window, whether that be for an existing client or a new client. You can link that through so that anytime you need to look back to the services that were provided from the opportunity, you can see the assessment complete to progress with it.
And I guess like all windows, this is customized, it can be customized. So any unique fields that the organization has as part of the inquiry or opportunity process, they could be added in right through to even changing the terminology of these windows themselves to suit the internal process.
Correct.
Brilliant. As you can see, activities on there as well. So any sort of phone calls or notes or whatever that need to be added as this opportunity progresses to an outcome can be added there. And these will reference the support receiver / business partner as well, wouldn't they, Jess? So these records would have a relationship back to support receiver and to the business partner, and therefore be able to be navigated to via those windows.
Correct. An example there is we're on Rose's here. This is our prospective client. You can zoom across and see that there's a service opportunity that exists and head over directly to that one. You can see it's an intake assessment.
And as always, we use support receiver, client, customer interchangeably because every organization is different, but it would be configured to the terminology used.
Correct.
Cool. Probably we're looking at the business partner window, support receiver window, because one item that would normally be done as part of an entry process is those plans and assessments, like you're referring to, Jess, with that risk assessment. So even during the entry process, a lot of these tabs would be used.
Yeah, so this is where you can create an assessment of any type. So the idea is that you're throughout the assessment process, you're capturing all of the details to, I guess, assess whether or not you can provide the support being requested. And that way, if it does proceed, you have all of that detail against the record and you don't need to go and source it again. So that would be things like manual handling plans, any epilepsy plans, or any behaviour support plans that are used in the assessment. You then have that on file already there, ready to go as soon as that support provision has been approved.
Brilliant. Cool. And as so really supportive, I guess, of growing an organisation. You'd be able to report on this, put your dashboards over this information, understand exactly how many inquiries are coming in, how many active service opportunities there are, what the source of any inquiries are, be it from campaigns, be it from various different inputs and sources like a website, and therefore get a really good picture about what can drive growth.
And I'll just add as well, another really great thing about the service opportunities is you can also, based on status, you can do request denied, withdrawn, or waitlisted, and then start reporting on those ones in each sort of status as to why they were closed and the services they were seeking, and try and adjust your service provision to the demand and sort of where you're struggling to provide the support that is being requested.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, Jess, that's a really good point. And as always, we love requests. So with full task management in the system, it's really powerful with client entry. So you could create requests on this opportunities for tasks that need to be done to support that opportunity. And they would directly reference the opportunity and the information contained within it.
Definitely.
Brilliant. Okay, well, I think that covers inquiry, opportunity, and a bit on business partner and a bit on the support receiver window as well, or elements that are really part of that early client journey process.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.